What is up, guys? It's Tony here, and today I want to do a quick review of the Razer Imperator 6400 DPI gaming mouse. Before I start this review, I'd like to mention that this is my first Razer product besides this this mouse pad I'm on right now, which I got at Minecon last year. This is my first Razer-owned product, and don't expect any bias in this review. I'm going to be giving you guys my full-hearted experience and my opinions on this mouse. So if you're planning on getting it or you own it and you're just looking to hear someone say how awesome it is, don't expect that from this review, because I'm going to be giving as much as a serious opinion as I can on this mouse. So I've owned a lot of gaming mice in my day. I've owned the G5 Logitech, G500 Logitech, and most of the mouse I've owned are Logitech mouse. Down the road, and I've upgraded constantly. Right now I own the G500, and you know that's kind of one of the things that I've noticed, is that mostly Logitech products are what I own. So I was wondering if I wanted to try out some other products out there. So now I'm trying out the Imperator. I've actually used what's the name of the other one, the Naga mouse, before at my friend's house, and to be completely honest, I thought it was too many features at once with all the extra macros like that. For me, I tend to get mice that just have DPI controls, because I'm a first-person shooter gamer. And this is definitely a first-person shooter slash consumer mouse. As in, if you are just someone who surfs the web and edits a little bit, this is a good mouse. I mean, it has very nice, smooth feet on the bottom, so you're able to easily glide across the trackpad or a mouse pad, even on cotton, which this is cotton, I believe. Mouse pads, it is very glidey, and it's very nice and smooth. It has a lot of cool features like the thumb buttons here, which are programmable in the software, which we'll look at in a second. It's also got two more buttons right here, which could be programmed to whatever you want. Scroll up, scroll down, and you can change the DPI if you want. And of course, it has the lights. Now, about the lights, there's a scroll wheel light up here, it's blue, and there's a Razer logo light down here. Now I thought, after seeing a lot of reviews online, that the Razer logo was very bright. Now in video, it looks very bright, but in person it is very dull. It's very difficult to see. Now, I honestly was hoping for a bright light. It's very, very dull. If you see it in person, it is very, very dull. It's hard to see on camera, but compare it to the other light, it's kind of hard to see still. Now, the mouse wheel is very bright. It's actually really cool how it lights up. I like things that light up. You might tell by my rig. Yeah, I like things that light up. And it's once again, very nice mouse in terms of aesthetic design. It looks really cool. It's very minimalistic while being a very distinct gaming mouse. Now, in terms of features and quality of the build, first off, I feel like the mouse honestly feels a lot more cheap than I expected. I honestly felt like I wanted this mouse to feel very solid and high quality, but it feels very plasticky and light. One of the features that a lot of gaming mice have nowadays is that you can put in weights into the bottom of the mouse. This one does not have that feature. And for a $70 or $80 mouse, you would expect a feature like that, like the one you'd find in the Logitech, where you put the weights inside. Now, the funny thing about the Logitech G500 is it's actually so weighted to start with that you don't even need to add weights. It feels like a very high-quality, well-built mouse, where if I threw it against the wall, hopefully I never do that, it wouldn't break. And that's something that you don't get with the Imperator. It feels kind of cheap, which I really don't want to say, because I feel like it looks really nice. It looks like it was built with, design in mind, and you would think that it would feel the same way quality-wise. One of the features that you get with the mouse is this thumb button here. You can switch, and I'm going to try to do this with one hand, you can switch how far forward or back you want it to go. I keep it all the way forward. Honestly, I don't feel much of a difference. If it's all the way back, I just move my thumb back a bit. If it's all the way forward, it's not much of a distance to travel. So, it's a cool feature, it's a cool idea, but in practice, it really doesn't make a difference. I've never really said to myself, oh, this button is way too far back. Even on the G500, where the button is really far back when you think about it, it actually feels fine. If it was moved forward a little bit, I wouldn't mind if it was forward or back. So, in practice, not trying to be hard on this mouse, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. If you guys are basing this is one of your features that makes you want to get this mouse, don't do that. It's not an amazing feature. If you want to talk about features that will make you buy this mouse, first off, it's very comfy in the hand. It's actually one of the most comfortable mouse I've ever held in my hand. I've held a lot of mouse, trust me. And the biggest thing I think that makes that work so well is the indentation on the thumb. There's only a good amount, like a small amount of mice that do this. One of them is the G500, and the G500 does do a good job of that. But this one really just feels really secure. It has this nice rubber grip, and one of the downsides to this G500, in my opinion, is the grip on this is like paperish, and I don't like the feel of it. It feels very paper mache, cheap almost. And this one's actually a very nice rubber grip, and that's probably one of the more high quality feels you'll get to this mouse, and it feels really nice. The other thing is that it has a little grip on the other side too, which the G500 does not have. And in addition to that, it's really easy to palm, just like the G500, so you can just put your palm down and rest your whole hand on it, which is always very nice. And also, the finger, your left finger has a little bit of an indentation there. And that's one thing that is something that you'll never notice with your current mouse that you have right now, but most mice have this very odd bubble. And once you go back to your mouse after using a mouse with an indentation, you'll start to go, this is very odd. And you'll start to realize that it's very uncomfortable. You'll find yourself peeking your fingers on your mouse, whereas on the Imperator, you'll just rest them. I rarely peek my fingers, which is very, very, actually cool. I like that. So, there's a lot of positives to this mouse, a lot of negatives. One of the things about the mouse I'd like to mention real quick is the DPI settings. This goes up to 6400 DPI. And let me tell you, 6400 DPI, if you're not going to be playing Battlefield or World at War and using tanks, you don't need that much of a DPI. I think the point of the DPI that high, in my opinion, is when you're using vehicles in certain video games, they do lower the amount of sensitivity on your mouse. So it's good to bump up that DPI real quick, especially with the button controls, and go ahead and just own noobs on that tank, or on many other vehicles, flight simulators. So it is really good to have that setting. But if you're just some dude who's playing, StarCraft or something along the lines, you don't need a switchable DPI up to 6400. I'd say the most you need is 35 or 4000. But it is nice to have that feature. Now, the DPI goes all the way up to 6400. We're going to look over at my screen real quick, and you'll see one of the new features they added is that when you change your DPI, there is a little bit of a indicator on the bottom right, which is something that they didn't have before and was going to be a complaint of mine, but it turns out once I updated my firmware, it did have that setting, because on this mouse, it shows you your 3 DPI settings right there, so you can go ahead and change them. Now, one of the things that is different about this mouse compared to most mouse is that it actually incorporates the DPI settings into the normal thumb buttons or scroll buttons. It doesn't have separated allocated buttons like right here on the G500. That's kind of odd, but it still works. It's still fine. I mean, most people don't use all 4 buttons, but if you are someone who wants a lot of options with your buttons and wants to have a lot of macros on your mouse, there's not many options here, so you should probably look elsewhere. But I think it's pretty good for my own personal use. So now let's go ahead and look at the software on the computer. Let that load up. Try to get it to focus here. Hello, hello. Oh, it's back here. It's hiding. All right. So the software here is pretty great. You actually get 7 things to choose from to change, but in reality 3 of the 7, of course, are the left, right click, and scroll. So you can change your sensitivity stage to your thumb buttons, which is what I do because I don't want to have to move my hand off the mouse in order to find the sensitivity scroll up and down. And of course, I change my mouse wheel up and down to the buttons right here, consequently. Of course, you got all the way up to 6400 DPI. I usually set 1800 DPI for just general use, and I never go up above that unless I'm playing a game, like I said, once again, where you're using a vehicle. And otherwise, here you have the option to turn off the lighting, which is a great option, by the way, because I know a lot of people who You know, they just want a mouse that works really well. They don't want a mouse that's all flashy like this, so they would like to turn off the lights. For me personally, like I've said, I like things that light up, as you can see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the Imperator mouse. In my opinion, I think it's a great mouse for what you pay. It's definitely a good value. You can find it on sale online for $60 or so. Look for those prices because they're worth it. Trust me, you don't want to have to overpay at Best Buy for $80. It's just not worth it. And that's pretty much it. I am Tony. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead, leave a like and comment. And if you really like this video, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll have more videos coming out soon. And that's pretty much it. I am Tony, and I'll see you guys next time.